She lives in a big, beautiful house. Kind of house that's on the cover of magazines. She's been to the Louvre more than once. She spends entire Saturdays
Say bye to mommy.
getting hot stone massages, the luxury of time. She wakes up every morning to a view of the ocean that could exist just for her. There isn't one.
A young woman named Alex lies in bed, looking at her husband. Convinced that he was sound asleep, she quietly left the room, picked up her daughter Maddie, and got into the car. However, Sean woke up and tried to stop his wife, but she drove off anyway. It was a long drive, and almost out of gas. Sean is texting Alex, demanding her return. She has almost no means of existence, and the money was barely enough for gas. Alex cannot reach her friend, so she came to her and asked to spend the night. The girl did not mind. Realizing that Ethan, the friend's boyfriend, had already told Sean that she was there, Alex hurried to leave. She had nowhere else to go, so she had to sleep in the car. Sean constantly sends her messages, but Alex is not going back to the alcoholic husband. Alex woke up to the voice of a police officer who said that parking here is prohibited. Finding out that the woman had nowhere to live, the officer advised her to contact social services. She did just that. There are many people here who have found themselves in difficult life situations. Alex explained that she was not homeless, but her husband is an alcoholic. Sean never used physical force, but he often behaves inadequately. The police cannot charge Sean with anything. According to Alex, her parents will not help her either. She also has no job or education. The social center worker can't help Alex because she is not in distress. But the woman advised her to contact the cleaning service, where they need workers. First, Alex went to look for her mother, who also has no fixed abode. Alex saw her on the beach. Paula paints pictures and suffers from a mental disorder, living in some kind of imaginary world. The woman found a new boyfriend and doesn't want to delve into the daughter's problems, but agrees to sit with her granddaughter while Alex at the interview. Alex came to the cleaning service. The girl was introduced to her responsibilities. Yolanda, the employer, was only able to offer Alex a 3-hour shift per week. She needed to start work today. In addition, Alex had to buy a uniform, cleaning products, and everything necessary. In the end, she didn't even have enough money for food. Alex called the mother and asked her to watch Maddie for another 3 hours. Paula seemed not to hear her, talking about something of her own. She had to travel far, here even the mobile network doesn't catch. Alex has to clean a luxurious cottage. The homeowner named Regina was unhappy that the cleaner was late, but Alex assured her that she could clean everything in 3 hours. She started her duties, periodically checking her phone. But there was still no signal. Apparently, the couple who live here are very wealthy. The woman asked to throw away all the food from the fridge. Alex was very hungry, but she held back and ate nothing. Entering the children's room, the girl remembered the happiest days. Suddenly, Alex lost consciousness. Regina brought her back to senses, asking if everything was okay.
I'm so sorry. I just skipped breakfast this morning. I'm fine.
Regina brought her a snack and water. Alex was surprised to learn that Regina and her husband actually have no children. They are planning to sell this house. After finishing the cleaning, Alex hurried to her daughter. When the signal appeared, she saw 13 missed calls from the mother. Paula was very angry that her daughter didn't answer the calls. She didn't plan to take care of her granddaughter for so long, so she asked Sean to pick up Maddie. Upon hearing this, Alex was shocked and immediately went to the husband's house. Sean said that Maddie was okay. Meanwhile, their daughter was already asleep. Alex remembers the husband's outbursts of aggression. Sean assured her that he hadn't been drinking today. He also said that he was trying his best and going to therapy to get rid of his destructive habit. Alex doesn't want to stay here because when her husband drinks, he becomes aggressive. But she has nowhere else to go. Sean cooked dinner and asked his wife not to leave their daughter with Paula, who clearly has mental health issues. Alex refused dinner, saying that she and her daughter would not stay here. Alex is afraid of her husband and is not sure if Maddie is safe with him. Sean tried to convince his wife to stay. The guy regrets his drunken behavior, but he earns money and does everything to ensure his family doesn't need anything. But Alex didn't change her decision and took the daughter with her. They were on the street again without any means of livelihood. Suddenly Yolanda called her and said that Regina was unhappy with the cleaning. So Alex has to go back and redo everything right away. On top of that, Maddie started to throw a tantrum because she lost her toy. Alex was on the verge of a nervous breakdown but still stopped to pick up the doll. At that moment, another driver crashed into her car. Fortunately, Maddie wasn't hurt. Alex yelled at the driver who totaled the car where she and her daughter lived. The police arrived. Alex was unpleasantly surprised when the officer gave her a fine for improper parking. In addition, she would have to pay for the tow truck. Now Alex was not only without housing but also in debt. She had no choice but to call her father, with whom she had a very complicated relationship. The man hadn't seen his daughter and granddaughter in a long time. He wanted to take them to Sean's, but Alex asked the father to drop them off at the ferry station. The man did not offer to let his daughter sleep over because he lives with another woman. Alex asked her father to stop at a low-price store to buy her daughter a toy. Later, the father dropped off his daughter and granddaughter at the ferry station, thinking that their friends would pick them up. Alex and Maddie had to spend the night here with other homeless people. She sang a lullaby to her daughter, and the baby fell asleep right in her arms. Alex couldn't hold back her tears, not knowing what to do next. In the next scene, we see Alex from the stage reading her notes about how when she and her mother ran away from the father to Alaska, only one guy was interested in her story. Alex works as a waitress and asks her colleague who that guy was. The girl said his name was Sean, and he worked as a bartender at another establishment. Sean, like Alex, loves to read. In the present, the girl was called out by Nate, who also used to be her colleague. Alex lied that they had arrived too early at the ferry, so they decided to take a nap here. Alex tried not to make it obvious that she was in trouble, but Nate understood everything and offered to help her. Alex eventually agreed. Nate treated her and Maddie to breakfast, telling her about his son. It turned out that Nate had recently divorced but maintained a friendly relationship with his ex-wife. Alex did not talk about her creative crisis. In contrast, Nate's life had positive changes. He quit his job as a bartender and trained to become a design engineer, and his career was on the rise. Alex found several missed calls. After thanking Nate, she took her daughter and was about to leave. Nate told Alex that she could call him anytime. Alex came with her daughter to Yolanda and explained that she was in a car accident, so she couldn't finish her work yesterday. But Yolanda said that she still couldn't pay because she lost a client. Alex was desperate because she spent her last money on cleaning supplies and gasoline. She was willing to take any job, but Yolanda couldn't offer her anything at the moment. An unknown caller phoned again. This time Alex picked up the phone. It was Sean's lawyer, who filed an emergency petition in court to immediately obtain custody of the daughter. The hearing is scheduled for tomorrow at 10 in the morning. Alex was in shock and turned to a social worker. The girl urgently needs to find housing, otherwise the daughter will be taken away from her. The only thing the social worker could offer Alex was a place in a shelter for domestic violence victims. She doubted that it was a good idea because Sean had never hit her. Nevertheless, Alex and her daughter came to the shelter. She was greeted by Denise, who promised that from now on, she and her daughter would be safe. Alex saw many other women with children. Each of them suffered from her husband. Denise showed Alex and Maddie their room, which turned out to be clean and spacious. In addition, the shelter provides women and their children with free food and basic necessities. The neighbor brought many toys for Maddie. Alex couldn't believe that strangers turned out to be so kind to them. It seems that life is getting better. Now Alex and her daughter have a roof over their heads, which means she have a chance to win the court case. The next day, Alex knocked on the neighbor's door to thank her for the toys. Her name is Danielle, and she lives here with her 7-year-old son. Alex's daughter is almost 3. Danielle told that she was doing eyelash extensions to open her own salon in the future. Alex asked the new friend to lend her some suitable clothes for the upcoming court. By 10 a.m., Alex and her daughter had arrived at the courthouse. Maddie had missed her father very much. Alex was surprised to see Sean in a business suit. In addition, his entire family had gathered there to support him. Alex understands that her chances of winning the case are slim. Sean had said that he simply wanted their daughter to live in normal conditions and not be in need of anything. The court hearing began. John, Sean's lawyer, handed Alex a written demand from the husband. The judge asked Alex why she had taken the daughter away from her lawful father without having any housing or means of livelihood. Alex said that she and her daughter were living in the shelter for victims of domestic violence. The judge found this strange because Alex had never contacted the police. The court granted Sean's request for emergency custody of Maddie. The next hearing would take place in a week. The judge told Alex that she had 7 days to convince the court that she was capable of taking care of her child. For now, Alex could only see her daughter in the presence of a chaperone. Alex promised Maddie that she would take her back soon. In the meantime, the girl would live with her father. Seeing Alex upset, Danielle tried to cheer her up by saying that she would definitely get her daughter back. Danielle had been in a similar situation when the court granted custody of the son to her ex-husband. Alex is already questioning whether she did the right thing by leaving Sean, as he is not a bad father, except for his alcohol dependency. In addition, Sean had never used force, he only acted inadequately. Danielle believes that Alex did the right thing, as things would only have gotten worse. Alex has no idea what to do now. In Danielle's opinion, Alex should start fighting right now for Maddie. Alex remembered Regina, who had not paid her for the cleaning. It was because of Regina that she lost her job. Danielle suggested that Alex go to the woman right now to make her pay. In the house, they saw a realtor showing the house to clients. Alex and Danielle pretended they just wanted to see the house. Regina wasn't here. The house sparkled with cleanliness, all thanks to Alex. While everyone was distracted, Danielle stole Regina's business card with her phone number and her dog. Alex said it was madness. Danielle intended to blackmail Regina with the dog, but Alex thought it was a bad idea and called Regina, lying that she found her pet on the street. Danielle's ex-husband called her, but she ignored him. The girl wanted her son to see his father, but she couldn't forgive her husband. In the end, Danielle couldn't resist and picked up the phone. At that moment Regina arrived, who was very worried about her beloved pet. Alex was surprised that Regina didn't recognize her and told her straight up. The woman realized that it was Alex who stole her dog and was about to call the police. Alex said that she was not the thief, but that Regina was because she did not pay her employees for their work. In a burst of emotion, Alex also talked about how she and her daughter were left homeless, and today the court took Maddie away from her. After this difficult conversation, Danielle drove Alex to Sean's house. She remembered how happy they used to be here. Alex told her lover about her plans to go to college in Montana. In the present, Danielle told her friend that she was proud of her. It would be difficult, but from that moment on, Alex had to start a new life. She gathered her courage and knocked on her husband's door. His mother, Darren, opened the door. It turned out that Sean was at work. Darren wouldn't let Alex see her daughter, saying she was asleep. Alex left the house with a heavy heart. Her life had lost its meaning without her daughter. The next morning, Alex received a message from Yolanda reporting that Regina had paid for the cleaning. Alex rushed to tell Danielle the good news, but she wasn't in her room. Her things were gone too. Denise said that Danielle had left the shelter that morning. Alex guessed that the friend had gone back to her husband. According to Denise, women often go back to their exes. It usually takes at least 7 attempts to leave for good. Alex remembers how angry Sean was when he found out she was pregnant. He didn't want it, but Alex believed that everything would be okay. However, her hopes